I'm going to make something that you have seen Miss Annie make lots of times. It's her famous pumpkin bread, but what I'm going to do differently than her, she makes hers in the small loaf so she can give it to all the teachers and the administrators at the schools where she's teaching. But I'm going to make it in loaves so I can take it to my Sunday school class. But her recipe is in her cookbook. If you have it, it's in her first cookbook on page 42, or it's in my second cookbook. But anyway, I'm going to start and put my dry ingredients in my mixer, and it calls for 2 cups of flour and 2 cups of sugar. I'm going to start with the sugar. Little chunks in there. Of course, they're going to mix up. Okay. 1, 2. I'll put this one out of the way. And 2 cups of all-purpose flour. And we call that self-rising. 1, 2. Okay, for the other dry ingredients, I'm going to need a teaspoon of salt. And did y'all see that? I got a Bosch mixer. I love it. I love it. Okay, a teaspoon of salt. You're going to ask me where I got it. I ordered it from Walmart. Okay, I'm also going to put a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. A teaspoon of nutmeg. I bet Miss Annie doesn't even have to look at a recipe as much as she makes. Don't y'all just love her? She's such a sweet friend. And a teaspoon of baking soda. I need to open another box. Yeah. Okay. Now, I'm going to put 1 1/3 cup of, I'm using vegetable oil. Five eggs. And 1 15-ounce can of pumpkin. This, I mean, I don't know that I would ever even try another pumpkin bread recipe because this really is the best I've ever had. I can remember the first time I had it. I was, you know, it's been over 25 years ago, I'm sure. 24 anyway. And after Miss Annie left, I said, I've got to have that recipe. And I still have. I'll turn this on. I have one more important thing. I'm so glad I looked. Because this is what makes it so moist. Use 2 of the 3.4 ounce boxes of vanilla pudding. You can either use regular or instant. And this happens to be instant, and it happens to be the Great Value brand. But I believe that this is what makes it so moist. So here's one. But anyway, I sent Miss Annie a message and said, oh, that's the best. I need that recipe. And I still have the recipe that she sent me. And it's in her little handwriting too. But now it's in my cookbook and her cookbook, and many of you have it. But she makes it every night during this season to take to her schools. Bless her heart. Those teachers need to appreciate it, even though it's not hard to do. I love this mixer for real. We'll just make sure that the sides are all down, and they are. And it doesn't take this as long, to me, as it does my other one. I'm going put some in this one. I preheated my oven to 350 degrees. And I sprayed these loaf pans. Y'all remember how heavy my other mixing bowl was with my KitchenAid? Now, you're saying, what have you done with it? I've got it in my laundry room on a shelf. I love that mixer, and you know, there may be a time when we're needing to mix 2 things up. But this is supposed to bake for 1 hour. And then we will have it ready. Okay. Get this off the side where I made a mess. Okay. And I'm just going to shake it. I'm going to put it in my oven, and in an hour, I'll be back. Okay, I let it cool enough to get these out of the pans, and they're beautiful and smell so good. So just know that Miss Annie's pumpkin bread will make 2 large loaves, or you can make the mini loaves like she makes. Thank you for joining me,